G'day there, Brian here. Welcome to the Japanese Whiskey Review. In the sequence, I think this is the wrap-up video. If it's not, it's somewhere in the mix of these worst Japanese whiskies of all time. We're now going to talk about the worst Kirin whiskies of all time. Kirin's another one of those weird ones. There's so many right on the cusp of being in the blacklist of never buy again. And I guess, again, for the money, they were relatively cheap, or have been previously, to other Japanese whiskies. Some probably just snuck above, because if I'm buying them for $20 and I can use them as a mixer or have them on the rocks, you know, they're going to rate a little bit higher as well. But let's kick off. We've got a few of these, so let's go with Kirin Seagram Orchid 43% ABV. Now, there's a long story to the history of Kirin and Seagram, the two companies joining together. Chivas was involved with them many years ago. Yeah, there's a long story, but they used to be joined together as an entity, and then later bits and pieces got split off, and I don't have all the history in front of me right now, but that's what happened. So if you see that name, so no doubt it's obviously going to be a blend of different whiskies from Japan and Scotland, and Japan and Canada, but also maybe some from Scotland as well. So 43% ABV nose, some Colgate mintiness, char grilled peppers, walnut marmalade, fresh cut grass putty, salt and citronella. Do you get citronella where you come from? Citronella is that mosquito spray you put on, or you can burn it as a coil to stop mozzies. Yeah, it's a bit odd, I said. Palate, softish delivery, excuse me. Can pie now. The sherry influence starts to come through. Does it say somewhere sherry on the bottom? I can't remember. Cherry, sultanas, okay, there's the sherry bit. Bananas, putty, Brazil nuts, and black pepper. Finish short-ish and dry with putty, walnuts, sultanas, and banana. And I said, final word, this appears to be some sort of whiskey liqueur. The ingredients say malt grain sherry, which indicates it's not just a sherry but mature whiskey, but that sherry itself was added. I don't know. There are so many of these weird bottlings that I have seen over my time with Japanese whiskies. No one's going to know the history. If they do, if anyone out there tells you they know all about Japanese whiskey and the history, they're liars. And can name all this stuff about all these different bottling. I just said, perfectly fine to drink, but nothing special, and that was a 75 out of 100. Yeah, definitely wouldn't buy that again. Kirin blend 50%. They've had a few of these bottlings, so the picture will kind of give the tale. And maybe I think I've had it when it's improved in later bottlings, bottled slightly different. Anyway, this was the old standard 50% white label from, it was back 15 years ago and beyond, but it was around back then. So nose, butterscotch, blanched pears, vanilla, cream corn, oak, mixed herbs, and shellfish. Palate, I got cream corn, green apple skin, butterscotch, rye, red grapes, a tad soapy. And finish short on green apple skins, red grapes, rye, and butterscotch. Better than expected. The soapy element and short finish lets it down. Yeah, it wasn't particularly complex. Be perfectly fine in a highball. If you had enough sips of it neat, you probably wouldn't care. Maybe over the rocks or something like that. But not Kirin's finest hour, but it was so cheap. It was $12 Australian a bottle in Japan when I bought it, which was, is that $8 US? $7 US? 78 out of 100, $7 US. I'll take it back and use it at a highball all day long. But there's better options. There were better options from Kirin as well. That's why it's on the blacklist. And even at that price, yeah, wouldn't go back again, and didn't, as far as I remember. Okay, so last one up is going to be in the Kirin worst of all time. There's another couple on the list, but I didn't do comprehensive tasting notes. You'll see it, all of them, in the description, on the link I put in the description from the online blog. Okay, so Kirin Once Upon a Time, pure malt 43%. Maybe again there, it's pure malt. Was there stuff from Canada when they were with Seagram, or some Chivas from when they were with Chivas? Don't know. No one probably does, apart from the people at Kirin. So yeah, 43% ABV. Nose, grapefruit, pears, oak, varnish, lemon, mustard, and a hint of putty. Did I mention putty in another Kirin? And Kirin can do some really good stuff. You just have to have had the right bottles. Yeah, Kirin can do good stuff. Palate, again, grapefruit, lemon, pear, but of the dried variety as opposed to fresh pears. White pepper, licorice, a bit waxy. Finish, grapefruit, dried pears, and lots of peppery heat. And basically, last word sums up the overall impression. Basic stuff. Tried this as a mixer, and there was a surprising amount of peat. You know, these bottles were just floating around when I was buying Japanese whiskies. They're not just everywhere. It's like, look at that, it cost me bugger all. I'll pick up a bottle, see how we go. No harm, no foul, but wouldn't buy it again even if it was $10 because it wasn't good enough. And I rated that 70 out of 100. So that kind of concludes, depending where I put this in this whole stream of videos, Japan's worst whiskies, the ones I've tasted, and this was Kirin's worst whiskies. So thanks for watching. See you again. Bye for now.